Hello and welcome into the Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Sammy Miller, alongside your broadcasters, Ian Nicholas and Dylan Pescatore. We are on the road today at Veterans Field in Chatham after last night's 6-4 win over the Bourne Braves. The Firebirds are now 2-1 on the season, guys, and last night we saw a lot more action on the bases. Ian, what did you think about the Birds' offense?
Well, 6 runs for the Birds all in one inning. It was just a masterclass, something that we've all been waiting to see for quite some time. I thought Fenwick Trimble played a massive role. He did not play in the loss to Harwich on Sunday, but back in the cleanup spot. And I know he wasn't the most productive. I know Johnny Olmstead had the big 3-run home run that put Orleans up for good. But I think Fenwick Trimble, he plays a good right field. But also in the heart of this order, I think everyone is just better when he's the stable force in the middle of the lineup.
And the bullpen is so important. And last night we saw Derek Clark come in, and he was exactly what the Firebirds needed. He came in for 4 innings, didn't allow any runs. What did you see from his performance?
Yeah, you got it, Sammy. It was 3-0 Bourne, and then Orleans with the big 6-run inning. And then Jake Peppers came in. He had a little trouble in that top of the fifth, allowing 2 runs. Derek Clark comes in, allows just 1, settled it for then, and then 6th inning, 7th inning, 8th inning, and even an out in the 9th. Derek Clark was outstanding.
And today on the mound, we have Dylan Jacobs, a pitcher from Stetson. Ian, what should we be expecting from this pitcher?
Well, yes, he started at Florida State, actually, which I think is really the exciting part, because I understand Stetson maybe not the biggest program, but he throws a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. He is a guy who's got a big league chance, and he has an opportunity against Chatham with a lot of Power 5 guys to show his stuff. So I'm just looking for him to keep it clean, not hand out too many free passes. Should go 4 to 5 innings, but Dylan Jacobs, he has electric stuff, and excited to see what he can do on another big stage here tonight.
And 2 players that we've been seeing consistently in the starting lineup is Jack Penny and Austin Overn, and they have really started to find their groove. Dylan, what do you think are the main factors to that?
Yeah, I think a big night last night for Austin Overn, and it just started with that bunt single he had back in the 3rd inning. He had a little trouble with the bunts in the first 2 games, but he got one down. It kind of allowed that pressure to be released off his back. He had a double to the wall later in the game as well. Uses his speed so well and is such a well-rounded baseball player. Jack Penny, maybe the offensive numbers aren't there just yet, but defensively he's been outstanding.
And today, like I said, the Firebirds are taking on the A's, and the A's have not had their first win of the season, so I know they're hungry. What should we be expecting from them, Ian?
You should be expecting some serious heat, and it's all going to start with Iowa's Brody Brecht on the mound. Threw a fastball at 104 miles an hour this season with the Hawkeyes, and this isn't even his favorite sport. His favorite sport to play is football. He used to be a scholarship football player for the Iowa football team. He is an absolute physical specimen. The question is, can he keep it under control? It's going to be a lot of heat, but can he keep it in the zone, and can Orleans catch up to it?
And guys, you know what time it is. I need your keys. Dylan, you're up first.
I think it's just a repeat of yesterday. Yesterday, the Firebirds only allowed 2 walks, no hit by pitches. Do the same today. No free passes. Make Chatham put the ball in play. Make them get hits to beat you. Don't put runners on for free.
And Ian, how about you? How are these Birds going to get it done?
They got to stay patient on offense. I know they might want to, jump at it considering how well they were able to jump on Bourne early in the game with that 6-run inning in the 3rd. But ultimately, I think you need to see what Brody Brecht does. Is he going to put it in the zone? He did have kind of a walk issue with Iowa, tailed off towards the end of the season. He's got to keep it under control. And if he doesn't, then you have to capitalize, take your free passes, and get on base, and then score with runners in scoring position.
Well, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great game tonight. And make sure you stay tuned for a lot more on the Scorching Start.
All right, let's go to war, boys. You guys can get out.
Back on Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcast Network, Ian Nicholas joined alongside the writer, Brendan Nordstrom, for the Writers Report. Brendan, let's get right into it, starting with somebody that you know well, Derek Clark. Firebirds fans might not know him well, but you, as a former broadcaster in the Northwoods League, you know this guy through and through.
Definitely. I was a broadcaster for the Battle Creek Battlejacks last year in the same division as the Traverse City Pit Spitters, where Derek Clark threw for last summer, and he dealt. It was always a bad day when Derek Clark was on the mound. He was dealing, and he brings a certain confidence to the mound as well. It's something that he talked about after the game yesterday, that with each pitch, with each inning, with each strikeout, he gains more and more confidence, tunnel vision, he gets in the zone.
And he wasn't supposed to go for as long as he went yesterday, right?
No, Coach. I asked Coach after the game if that was the plan. He said it was not. He was planning on going to Connor Eaton, who just arrived, but Clark's pitch count was low, and he was dealing. It's hard to argue with the results.
Hard to argue with the results, even with an NCAA tournament caliber pitcher, George Mason's Connor Eaton, available. But going from the pitching to the position players, Austin Overn led off for the third night in a row last night, and finally the USC man was able to put together some really solid stuff from the plate.
Yeah, Overn, he's a good player from USC, and it had a little bit of a slow start. No hits through the first couple of games, and even had a couple of bunting opportunities in the first couple of games. Wasn't able to get it down. Finally, he's able to get one down, advance the runner, and make it to first. And that was a huge play, that bunt in the third inning. That set off the chain of events that led to the 6 runs in the end. And he also laced a double in that game. So Austin Overn turning it on. Hopefully we can see more of that this summer.
And although we like to see a lot more Austin Overn in center field, he's not going to be in center field tonight, still leading off, doing the DHing. Instead, it's the number 2 man of the lineup, Eddie King, who returns to the field for the first time since he was named player of the game in Game 1 against Hyannis. What do you like to see from Eddie King? He's got that speed out there in center.
Absolutely. Eddie King is an exciting player. He came in that pinch hit opportunity in the first game, helped ice the game with a single, and he has the speed. So getting him on the base paths will be huge for this team, and working the base paths, scoring some more runs.
Scoring some more runs. That's what Orleans hopes to do against Chatham tonight. Brendan, he'll be writing about it, win or loss, hopefully, or tie. Chatham's tied this year, win, loss, or tie after the game. Brendan, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, set the tone, boys.
Kelly, congrats on the huge win last night. What are you most proud of from your team?
Well, you're always proud when you get down and come back. And the fact that we rolled 6 after, the first 2 games were a little light offensively, but that's kind of standard for the Cape League. Like you said, like we were talking before we came on, it's an adjustment. Good arms every inning, and they're not swinging aluminum. So I was really proud of them last night, the way they battled back and then kept the lead and kept competing, and they played very, very good baseball last night.
And that third inning was special. 6 runs in the inning. And players like Johnny Olmstead, Austin Overn, they seem like they're really getting in their groove. What do you think is contributing to that?
Well, Max Fesky does a great job with our hitters, and Joey Cooper does a great job with our hitters. The cool thing about last night, and I spoke to those guys that came out for early work, the early work pays off. And Johnny Olmstead was there, Austin Overn was there, Cam Jones was there. So it was really cool to see those guys come early and then have success later that night.
And we have to talk about Derek Clark coming in, a Northwood player, Division II player coming against some of the best hitters in the entire college landscape of baseball. So how special was his performance last night?
Yeah, it was really good. It would have been good for anybody, D1, D2, D3, NAIA. Clarky's good, man. You look at his numbers at Northwood, and the reliever of the year, Sammy, last summer was from Northwood University, Cam Schulke. And I didn't know that Derek was going to go that long and, be 90 consistently, sit 90. But, man, that was a really nice surprise for our team.
And today we have Dylan Jacobs on the mound, the first time he is starting for the Firebirds this season. What piece of advice do you give your pitchers who are making their first start on the Cape?
Get strike one. Get strike one and try to get 2 strikes in 3 pitches. It'll make their job a lot easier.
And I know that you guys want to get the win against an East Division rival today. What's your big key for today's game?
Again, we just have to throw strikes and play good defense and put the ball in play and be mindful on the bases. Again, I'm going to say it all summer. Those are the 4 keys to success.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much and good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you, Sammy.
Hello, everyone. I am now joined by Eddie King Jr. Eddie, congrats on the win last night. What do you think some of the main reasons were for the team finding so much success?
I think pitching. The pitching started off a little shaky, but we found it throughout the 4th and just the rest of the game. So, and then the hitting picked up as well. So we just had timely hitting and some really good pitching.
And what do you think one of the biggest differences is coming from Louisville here to the Cape Cod League?
The difference is definitely playing on a lot of dirt fields. That's about it. But the pitching, I would say, is some really good competition out there and here too. So, I like it.
And how have you been enjoying the Cape just outside of baseball?
It's really nice. I wish it was a little warmer throughout the night, but
Totally.
It's fine. I like it here.
And chemistry is so important in baseball, infield and the outfield. So how do you think your connection has been with your teammates so far?
So far, so good. It's hard, communicating with people on the, first week you meet them. So I think we've been doing a really good job of that.
And I need a key for tonight. What's the key to get a win against the A's?
Hit the fastball.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Good luck tonight. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcast Network. Make sure you tune in at 7 o'clock when the Orleans Firebirds take on the Chatham Anglers.